Now for the radish, we'll cut off the two ends. Now then peel it. Now do two peel because after the first peel, you can still see it's white. Alright. Do a second peel until you can see a bit yellowish. Alright. Because this white color here is a bit fibrous. Now this radish here, I have already washed it. Now I'll take out the two ends here for shredding. For the center here is for thick strip. Right, so they have a different texture. I'll cut into half first, so it's safer to manipulate. I'll cut them into about 1 cm thick. Now then, after that, cut them into 1 cm strip. Right, so they will be in this size. All right. Now for the end portion here, we can use a shredder to shred it. Now, so you have a long thread like that. Now this will help to do the binding in the batter, whereas the long strip one will have a good bite feel when you eat it. Now this radish here will have some bitterness, so we will blanch it for about a minute or two. Now once it comes to boil, reduce the fire, then just slowly cook for about a minute to draw out the bitterness. Now after 1 minute, off the fire, take them out. Now let it drip dry and we can use it for the second stage. Now for the Chinese sausage, they are a bit hard, so boil some water. Now then off it. Now let it soak for a while. You also have to wash away the dirt and soften it, so it's easier to cut. Now just soak it for a minute. Now the Chinese sausage have cooled down already. Now cut them into half lengthwise. Sink the knife in first. Alright. Now you may cut into half or into three lengthwise. Now then arrange them across like this. Now cut them into coarse bits into this form. Now we have soaked the dry scallop and the shrimp until soft. Now drain away the water, but keep it. Now then top it up to the required amount. Alright, put it aside. Now for the dry shrimp, we don't need to be the whole piece. Alright, cut it into smaller pieces so that they can spread evenly in the radish cake. Alright, in this manner we do. Now for the dry scallop, use the end of the cleaver, press it. Alright, then use the finger to separate the strand. Alright, in this manner. We put them together with the dry shrimp. We are going to fry them later. Now we shall mix the batter now. Okay, put in the rice flour. Now rice flour are used for radish cake and yam cake. Now then we will have the cornstarch to make it more binding, and the teng mian make it more crunchy. Alright, now we will mix the seasoning, put in half so that the batter will have a taste. Now then put in the dry shrimp water. Now mix them well. It should be forming a line like that. Alright. Now we shall now fry the ingredient. Turn off the fire. Now put in about 3 tablespoons of oil. Now put in our dry scallop and shrimp. Now after about 2 minutes, we will start to smell the aroma. Put in our Chinese sausage. Now when we can smell the Chinese sausage aroma, fragrant, put in all our radish. Now mix it so that they are coated with the fragrant oil. Now then add in our water. We have already mixed the seasoning in. Okay, bring back the heat. Now once they come to boil, reduce the fire, then simmer for 5 minutes to get the radish to soften. Now after 5 minutes, open it. Off the fire now. We are going to put in the batter. Now this is an important step. Now make sure that we stir them well because the crust tend to settle at the bottom. Now we have to put in the batter in 2 stages. Okay, put in 1/3 first. Now this first batter will be cooked by the heat in the item. I can see that it becomes very starchy, and you will have to hold the remaining batter later on. Okay, once they are well mixed, put in the rest of the batter. Now, so we have 2 types of batter. One is cooked, one is uncooked. Okay, get them all well mixed first before we put into the tray. Now, do not worry that they are too dry because the radish hold a lot of water. Now, we shall put in about 1 tablespoon of oil. Coat the tray first so that the radish will not stick to it. Now, we'll take out 1 portion, transfer into the tray. So you may use a non-stick spatula to help so that it will not stick on. Now we press it down so that there's no gap inside, and then rub it so that the surface is smooth. Once you have done that, put in your sesame oil, coat it. Now we don't put the sesame oil during the cooking because the fragrance will evaporate off. Now for the steaming, put a few chopsticks on top, put aluminum foil to cover it, okay? But allow the steam to get through. This aluminum foil is to prevent condensed water dropping onto the radish cake when we open the cover. Now we will cover it, steam it under medium-high heat for 45 minutes. Now after every 15 minutes, we'll top up the water. Now make sure you use boiling water so the steaming will not slow down. Now you can see that the condensed water will drop onto the aluminum foil. Now after 45 minutes, we check whether it's cooked or not. Now cook through the center. Now if there's no sticky glue, then they are cooked already. Now we cannot cut this when it's still hot. They are very soft. So preferably we chill it overnight before we cut it. Now we have chilled this for overnight already. So we unmold it. Now for this I will cut it into half first. Now if I'm going to fry it, then I will cut it into thick slab. Okay, so half it again. Now each thickness do not be too thin, otherwise the radish will fall off. So about 1 finger width. Okay, in this manner. Now, so over here I have 10 pieces. Now if we cut the radish into thick strip, you can see it's visible after cutting. And also you can feel the bite of it later on. Now the extra you can food wrap it and you can keep for 1-2 weeks. If you are going to pan fry it, put in sufficient oil so that all the carrot cake can be coated. Now then place them in. Now after about 2 minutes, flip it over. If it's not ready, doesn't matter, we can fry one more time. Now once all of them have the desired brownness, push it aside, let the oil drip off first, then you can serve it already.